Late Night Health continues with Roxanne Green, who I just said is not coming back, but she is coming back because I made a mistake, and it's all my fault. Roxanne, thanks for hanging in here with us.
My pleasure.
Roxanne is the president of the Natural Products Association. The NPA has been around since 1936. Let's do a little bit of background. I have a friend. He's an MD. He does not like vitamins. He doesn't like supplements. He doesn't like chiropractic. He doesn't like homeopathy. He doesn't like anything that he says doesn't have science behind it. But there's a lot of science about nutrition, about supplements, and the NPA has been around since 1936. I remember that year very well. And as you saw, as I hobbled around last week in D.C., tell us about some of the rules regulating supplements that the NPA has put together.
Well, first of all, 20 years ago in 1994, we helped work and pass a bill that helps regulate the whole supplement world. Senator Orrin Hatch and Senator Tom Harkin were key components of having that on the table for the legislature to pass, and then we had a whole grassroots component that actually really helped. They still talk about it. Some of the staffers have heard the stories that 20 years ago they were bombarded with that time faxes and phone calls. We didn't have the emails.
Right.
Then.
And that was called DSHEA.
DSHEA, our Dietary Safety Health Education Act, and it gives the FDA the power to help regulate the industry. And there's a lot of different components to it. We also did what they call a GMP, a general manufacturing practice. We had those components all ready for the FDA to use. They can go in and inspect the manufacturers. They have to follow specific guidelines. And so that's part of what we've done. We've also
the other part of that manufacturing. They have to be a pharmaceutical grade manufacturing facility.
Yes, that is part of the protocols.
Right.
And so, kind of a quick overview of that is that when they get a product in, it has to be quarantined until they prove that particular item is what it's supposed to be. You can have a third party do it, or a lot of the big manufacturers have their own labs that they check and make sure that it's what it's supposed to be.
So and what that would be is they get a bulk shipment in of vitamin E,
right? And
it's tested to make sure that that's vitamin E at a certain level of purity, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly.
And it's to protect the consumer, and we're all for that. Absolutely.
Exactly. And then it also just the way that they actually process it into their product. It has to be tracked, and the machinery cleaned, and the lot numbers recorded, and you have to keep product for 7 years so you can go back and check it and make sure that it still is the potency. So there's a lot of rules and regulations that went with that. And
also, as the product is bottled,
yes.
I think it has to be tested yet again.
And well, as they're running a particular tablet or capsule, products are taken off the run too. Just randomly take them off the run. So then they test that, and then then it's bottled, and then they'll pull a bottle and test that, and then they still have to keep samples for minimum 7 years, or to again have the product available.
And that's a safety feature for the consumer, and I think it's a wonderful feature.
And that's just a really, really simplified version of it. There's a whole lot more that they actually have to do.
Of course. And then what about one of the things about natural products is that sometimes there are studies and sometimes there aren't. We were talking about having a study of 4,000 people. That would cost a whole bunch of money. And maybe at a future time we can discuss the the testing and the research that goes behind some of the nutraceuticals that we have in this country. All right?
All right.
All right. Thanks for coming back. I apologize. I blew it. Roxanne Green, the president of the Natural Products Association, and I thank you very much. We'll be talking some more. You too. We'll be talking more about the NPA as weeks go on. Coming up in the next hour, we're going to be talking about grieving for a son who was killed. I'm Mark Allen. You can always reach us at latenighthealth.com, latenighthealth.com.